Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing this evening? Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Mitral Raja, welcome in. How are you guys doing today? Well, we are going to get into painting some minis. So let's do it. I am back at it. These leaks of Votann. I'll zoom in a little bit. Something like that. So, just chilling at home. Okay, nice. You have the day off tomorrow, Raja. First thing we gotta do on these guys. I put a flesh wash over their skin. I have put our diluted sepia wash over the bone colors. Next, I just need a black wash to go over the metallics and the browns and some of these other darker colors. So we're going to do that. Blue, am I insane for Votann? No, not yet. No. This isn't a very big lot, and there's some new minis in here, so... no, it's not too bad. You are not... You still have to work tomorrow. Lame. That stinks. Well, hopefully it's not too terrible of a day. Went to a memorial today for your old preacher's wife. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully it was a good service and everything. Played D&D, it was fun. Dragonborn barbarian beheaded a wyvern. Wow, okay. Sounds like fun. I did no such beheadings today. It was a very nice day today, though. Pretty relaxing weekend, which is nice. It was nice. And okay, Guardian, how you doing? How you doing, Mr. Guardian? Yeah, I had a good weekend though, so I got the 3D printer back up and running. So that is a huge boon. And I have put 3 prints through it, and all have been successful. So that's nice. I'm really excited about that. So printer's back up and running. So I have had some things I wanted to print. Be kind of my next paint project. I was talking about that a little in the new channel I put in Discord, the Thousand Suns channel. So that's what we were going on about. But so yeah, getting that up and running was really nice. And I don't know if you guys remember, but so in my yard I have 2 maple trees. Yeah, send your wish list. Yeah. If you do need something printed, you want something printed blue, let me know. But I have a couple things on the list. I want to print a tank or 2 for painting Sun to paint. But I had mentioned this before, but I discovered that the two of the very old trees in my yard are sugar maple trees, and I decided I was going to tap the sugar maple trees and try to make some syrup out of it, because those are the ideal tree. I guess you can work with just about any maple tree, but last week I was checking the weather and I kind of panicked, because there was a few days that seemed like the ideal weather to get these trees like going and everything. And so I panicked and set it up real quick, and I don't think I quite had the supplies that I needed to actually make the syrup and everything, but whatever, got things hooked up. And I had a bucket on there for a couple days, especially since it was getting like cold. It wasn't getting super warm, but I only tapped one of the trees, but I noticed yesterday morning and this morning there was a lot more like water, like maple water from the tree in the bucket. When I went out this morning and checked it, the bucket was like half full, and I kind of like extra panicked, because I was like, wow, there's actually a decent amount in here. Yeah, tree blood, yeah. And I unhooked the bucket from the tap, and the tap was just dripping like maple water. So like there was still a lot in there. I ended up hooking it back up because I don't have the stuff to deal with it yet, to like cook it down yet. So I had to order the stuff real quick. I have stuff coming in tomorrow to start cooking down maple water into maple syrup. So that's kind of on my list to start tomorrow, and I think I might tap the other tree tomorrow. That's kind of the plan. So we'll see. What's going on, Zen? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm trying to go off the grid, dude. I'm trying to go off the grid. Where do we post random stuff? Randomly, anywhere. You can post it in the general chat, I guess. Stay away from the maple syrup. I'm gonna look out for that. You keep talking about it, man. I'm gonna be careful. Is it okay? Yeah. It wasn't okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. It was. And okay. I got it. I can read, guys. Give me a few tries and I'll figure it out. I have a mediocre grasp on the English language. You're sick? No, no, it's fine. It's fine. I should have been able to read that just fine, and I could not. Yet I know with the sap that I've collected, the amount of syrup I'm going to get is going to be measured in like the tablespoons, because it's like a 40-to-1 conversion or whatever. So I have maybe like 2.5 gallons of maple sap or water or whatever you call it. So I'm not going to get a lot of syrup out of that yet, but I am hoping if I tap that second tree, I'll get a little more and I can start moving. We'll see. I will let you guys know. You cancel your vent today? Oh, that stinks. So, not doing better then. That's too bad, man. Sorry to hear that. Dude, I wasn't stalking on Discord today, so I didn't know that.
Look at me!
Sometimes I'll randomly be on Discord on like Sundays, and I'll be like, oh yeah, like who won Zen's TCG event or whatever, and so I'll go check. Not a mini, but check out general. Okay. I also found, I posted this in general like an hour ago, a documentary that was just really, it's a little like 10-minute like YouTube documentary, but it was someone in Kiev that made a short documentary about wargaming, specifically Horus Heresy, but wargaming in Kiev during the war, and kind of their experience and why they kept their group going, and like this whole thing. It was really interesting. Very interesting. What do you got here, Mydro? What do you got? Gave me Dad's old train. Units are unopened. What? Seen easy to build your own railroad. Oh, that's cool. There's a little, oh, it's a little military, a little G.I. Joe military transport. That's crazy. Wait, that's separate from the other thing? So a couple train sets. That's awesome. That's really cool, Mydro. That's really neat. Continue video about the Maple Syrup Mafia and this huge heist. Okay. Alright, alright. Nice. I'm gonna watch that later. Very nice. That was G. My grandpa collected trains. Like model trains and stuff. And he had so many of them. And whole thing, my parents ended up inheriting these trains, and they ended up selling them at an auction because like they didn't know what to do with them. Like nobody else was into trains, so yeah, I remember he had like closets full of trains still in boxes and everything. It's crazy. What is this? Well, that's a crazy name. Serve. Welcome. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. How are you doing this evening? Welcome to the stream. So many documentary. Yeah, everybody's posting documentaries on YouTube right now, so it's the new hotness. Jaded Valkyrie, welcome in. Happy Sunday. I have a bit of gaming to do, so I will be in a. I signed up to play in a Middle Earth strategy battle game tournament next month. It's about a month from now, a little over a month from now. And I have not played the new edition that's been out for a year. I haven't played it once. So I need to get some practice games. So Buddy Killer Cam is going to be hanging out. We're going to be playing a couple practice games with each other. I don't think he's played it either. So yeah, we're going to play some practice games tomorrow. Hopefully get a feel for the rules and kind of get an idea on army lists. I think I'm going to make... I still haven't like finalized armies yet, but I think I'm going to make like 2 or 3 army lists to try to run through some different ideas. But that's the plan. That's what we're doing. Yeah, Zen, the printer is working. It was good. The one hiccup I had with my printer, so I ran a little test print, it was good. Then I printed some base toppers, like a run of base toppers, which the base toppers print quick. It's like a 3-hour print, but it's like 20 of them. The initial like few layers are very like heavy, so there's a lot of suction. So I figured if there's going to be like resistance somewhere, like that's a good one to test it. If like the Z bolt or whatever is dirty. So they printed fine. And then I printed overnight. I printed a Predator hull to maybe get a few of those out, so maybe I can have a couple more tanks for my Thousand Suns. I thought that might be a fun next edition. And pulling the my magnetic plate off my build plate, it shifted my build plate. It's like, crap. So I had to re-level my build plate, which kind of stunk. I don't know why it was like held on so easy, but I made sure I cleaned the magnet really well and everything, and made sure, I don't know if there was some like resin that stuck between the magnet and the plate or something, but yeah. So I had to re-level my build plate, which is it's not a hard process. It's just annoying. Yeah, the little printer that could, it trucks on, guys. So, good stuff. But I have things printing. I'm not right now. I actually not going to run another print tonight because I'm going to be gaming in that room, and I don't want a lot of resin fumes in there if I can help it. So. Yeah, it's been a nice weekend. I did want to tell you also, Zen, that my family played Tokaido. We played it last week. We picked a night. I don't remember what night it was, but we had a night. We tried it out. It's a really cool game. It's like super chill. But man, there can be some like cutthroat plays in that game. Like just if you just like want to target somebody and you just like take their opportunity to get their things, like you can really do that. But it is a very nice game. Yeah, it was very simple. Painting Sun picked up on it real quick. Like we got it. I'm curious about strategies with that game, because I think what we ended up doing the one time we played it was we ended up all going super slow, like very slow. So it ended up just being like this weird leapfrog thing where we were each going to just like the next point for the most part, because I think we kind of we kind of decided it was better to get the achievement cards than it was to just be the first person at the hotel, because like as long as you have some money, you get the food at the hotel and you get the points. And if you get there last, then you get to go first. So our initial view was it's better to get to the hotel last than to get to it first. And you don't get extra points for having a bunch of money at the end. Like, you're better off just donating it or just buying a bunch of stuff. So I don't know how you felt when you played it, but that was kind of some of our big opinions that we came away. I don't know if anybody else has played Tokaido, but good for characters that want better food experiences. Okay, yeah, maybe there's characters that get specific things from food, but so Painting Wife's character, her rule was when she got to a hotel, she could just draw a card instead of picking from before she chose to pick from the stack, and she could just keep it. They didn't expand on the rule much, but I think we kind of assumed that she could just have the card and not pay for it. But I guess I'm thinking maybe she does have to just draw the card and pay for it, and you just take the risk. But then I don't see why you would ever use that, because like before you see the deck, right? So you're 1 in 3 chance, but also possibly going to be worse than what you could choose. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't quite. Her card was a little confusing. Her character ability or whatever. My character was, I got to draw like an event card or like a encounter card when I reached the hotel, which I didn't think was super good. It didn't really work out for me. And what was Painting Sun's? Painting Sun got extra points for visiting hot springs and panoramas, or it was a specific panorama. I can't remember what his was. His seemed really good. By the end of the game, all of our scores were within 1 point of each other. And I think the Painting Sun won, with the Painting Wife 1 point behind her, and then I was 1 point behind, or I was 1 point behind the Painting Wife. So, like, we were all within like 1 point. It was pretty crazy. So, solid. Like that's good for a first experience of the game, right? Even though Painting Sun was getting, he had some moments he's getting kind of upset about things, like he wasn't getting the location he wanted because one of us would get to it, and the dude still ended up winning. So yeah, it's a fun game. And lots of comment about the food that shows up. So we were talking about, there were times when it came down to which food that we would actually want to eat in real life at the hotel is what we would buy. So that was kind of fun, like just a different way of playing a game. Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Yeah, I was like, I want the takoyaki. I want it. Yeah. But no, fun game. I offered for the Painting Sun to play it again tonight, and he declined. He wanted to play Splendor, but that kid has been so into playing Splendor. We've been playing that game a lot. That's a really fun game too, though. So. yeah, looking forward to playing again. Okay, we got those 4 crew. Let's get the robots here. We'll start with some highlighting. I got a couple more minis to paint. I have 6 steel jacks. I have the actual artillery that these guys crew, and then I have a Capricus carrier, I believe it's what it's called, I will paint. But I'm kind of enjoying doing these in like bite-sized pieces like this. Still getting my assembly line painting, so I'm feeling efficient, but I'm not spending 3 hours on one color because I'm trying to paint everybody that color, so just change it up a little bit. Hey, Serves, welcome in. Thank you for the sub earlier. How are you doing? Welcome. We're just doing this is the chill Sunday night stream, as if my non-Sunday night streams are not chill, but I'm just working on some Votann tonight. Can't complain. It's Chandler. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Alright, well, welcome in. How are you doing? Just getting some washes on these minis, and then I'm going to go in with some highlights. And these minis get some pretty simple highlights. It's nothing too over the top or anything, but make sure they got something. I do have another Thousand Suns video in the works, so we'll have another one out this week. That's the goal. White cloth, really struggling with it. Yeah, okay. So you're talking about this is how I do my cloth. All right, it's pretty simple. It's a couple steps, but it's 2 colors in a wash. So let me get this. I'll show you my colors. I use Pro Acryl paint a lot, as much as I can. So Monument Hobbies, all of our local stores sell Monument Hobbies stuff. I'm a huge fan of their colors. I'm an affiliate with Monument also, but I have been shilling their products way before them. I love their stuff. But here's my 3 colors. You ready? So bright neutral gray, a black wash, which you can use non oil or whatever for that, and then bold titanium white. And what I do, this is my base coat, and normally this will be like 2 thin coats of this over your color is more than enough to get this to being a solid coat. I will dilute the black wash. This black wash I'll dilute like 50-50 with something like Flow Improver. I'll put that over, and it's gonna look pretty dark, but that's fine. When that's dry, I relayer with bright neutral gray. So, the typical, like, skipping all of the best, the like deepest recesses and everything, those edges and stuff like that. And then I do about a 50-50 mix, maybe a little heavier on the bold titanium white. And I'll do another layer, skipping over, like leaving more of the recesses darker. But this is like kind of the main layer of the color. And then at the end, The last step is pure bold titanium white, and I edge highlight with pure bold titanium white. So the edge highlight is like that pure white color, and it gives you like, yeah, it's like a good like cold white. And normally, so you're doing cloth. Cloth might be a little different, but this is my typical white. So this is like armor white. If you're doing cloth and you want cold cloth, the one way I would change that, I would use this stuff. This Payne's Gray wash is so good for like, it's like a blue gray, like a really dark blue gray, diluted again like 50-50 or a little less, and it makes the perfect cloth wash. It's so good. This stuff also for anybody watching, this stuff over silver is perfect. It's so good over silver if you want a good cold steel look. This is one of the most impressive washes I think that they sell, honestly. It's very unique for like a black blue wash. Yeah, tabards of bolt gun casings. Yeah, this is my bolt gun casing recipe. These 3 colors. Yeah, I have about oh, I did the math. Hold on. The math is new, so let me look this up real quick. I keep track of everything I've painted here. Okay, my total Thousand Sons army is 15,308 points. Of normal Thousand Sons, it's 10,685 points of just Thousand Sons, and that's so the rest of them are auxiliaries. So I have 1,100 points of Solar Auxilia, and I have 3,500 points of Militia. So I've painted a lot of Thousand Sons. What wash was that for the AMP? Oh yeah, it's the Payne's Gray wash right here. Payne's Gray. So good. This is such a good wash. I don't have all 1,000 of them, sadly. No. I have so many goals. So many things I want to do. I have incredible STLs for scouts, for Space Marine scouts that I finally found. After years of looking for scouts, I finally found scout minis. So I want a unit of scouts because I want to make the Thousand Sons unique scouts that are called Amatara. Occult Cabal is what they're called. They're like the sneaky spies, but they're all like psychically charged and stuff. They're really cool. So I make some of them. I have tanks. Tanks need, yeah, scouts. Yep. You can get them with the Aquila on their chest or without, which is great. It's perfect for heresy stuff. I also want to buy a box of 20 Mark III Tactical Marines just to make into Tactical Marines. I have 95 to 100 Tactical Marines painted. Yeah, so, but they're all Mark 6 or Mark 2. So I want some Mark 3s. I want to get all the plastic marks. And, yeah, the Aquila was not worn pre-heresy. Yep. So having an option without the Aquila is perfect. Anyone local that sells a wash? Yeah, I think any of the 3, like, in my opinion, the 3 big stores in Columbus all sell Monument Hobbies products. I believe if you go to Monument Hobbies website, they might still have a list of all the stores that carry, like the independent retailers that carry their products. If someone could please link the Monument Hobbies site. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, head to that website. Don't worry about using my link or anything, but I'd rather you buy from the local store and, you know, get your potential discount or something than buying online and worry about me getting $1 out of it or whatever. Yeah, all of those. There's at least 3 stores in our area that sell them. So. Yeah, 20 Mark III Marines. I also want to make more Command Squad minis with the different armor marks. So I have Mark III armor Command Squad but I don't have Mark II, Mark VI as the plastics. So yeah, I want to add to that command squad and give them different weapons like thunder hammers and power spears and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, we have like 100 stores in our area, but I think at least from my perspective, there's like 3 big ones. Yeah, no problem. Oh, paint spray is such a good wash. I can't remember if I've used that on cloth. I'm sure I've used it on some of my Thousand Suns cloth. I don't put a lot of cloth on my minis though, so it's not a very common thing that I deal with. Yeah, we are spoiled for choice. Yeah, there's massive community of nerds and gamers in this area. It's really nice. Okay, we got washes on these guys. Let's grab this advanced flesh tone again. Skin's looking a little red, but we're gonna start doing some little highlights on these guys. Celeste Gray Citadel, incomparable paints. Yeah. This bright neutral's pretty comparable to Celeste Gray. I don't know if you've used Pro Acryl, but I just believe Pro Acryl is superior paint to Citadel in every way. Yeah, everybody has their own opinions, but that's my thought. You won't use any other black or white. Yeah. Yeah, fantastic line of paint. A little stir crazy yesterday, so I wanted to get out, second my LGS, drop off, organize more stuff. MTG hits me up, says he's going to different LGS to paint up some Zombicide minis his first over. Ran down there to help him. Oh, you were painting Zombicide yesterday? Oh, that's cool. Which Zombicide version were you painting up? I have my fully painted set of Black Plague that I painted a long time ago. We used for a friend's, like, it wasn't a bachelor party, it was like they were having a bridal shower, I think, and I hosted a separate get together in the same building, and we played Zombicide, then waited to like gather up gifts. Basically, that's what we were doing. And me and a buddy decided to paint everything, so we split the set and we went crazy and painted all the characters and stuff. It was a lot of fun. The Thundercat minis. Okay, that's wild. I didn't even know they had Thundercat minis for Zombicide. I have some of the weird minis I have for Black Plague. I have a Xena Warrior Princess. I also have Ash from Army of Darkness, and also Evil Ash from Army of Darkness, who is an evil necromancer that has his own rules. Is like an enemy that you have to kill. It's pretty crazy. Very paint by the numbers, and everyone uses Citadel. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you know, people paint for different reasons too, right? Like, it's all up to the individual. And I don't hate Citadel paint at all. Like, before I discovered Monument and started like using them and everything, before they were like in stores and all that stuff, I was almost 100% on just using Citadel for everything. It's just, yeah, it's how I operate. It's really nice to just have all the guides out there, and Citadel has tons of just like super vibrant colors, and like it's great. But yeah, once I I bought a base set of the Pearl Curl paints when a couple local people like were talking about a bunch. I was like, okay, I'll try it out for the meme. And I bought them, and I tried them like 2 days later. I was like Andy with Woody in Toy Story. I was like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Just like sold them. Go game with some friends. All right, nice, then. You have a good one, dude. I hope you feel better tomorrow. It really sucks you've been sick all weekend, dude. Should be painting knights. You're building Calgar. Yeah, that's legit, dude. Calgar. You got the nice Terminator armor one, too. A little jealous. You know, okay, I was thinking about 40K today. I know, crazy, right? But I was kind of having a thought about this summer with 11th edition coming out. All right, I have been out of 40K for a couple years at this point. I tried 10th, didn't like it a whole lot. I tried to get into it, you know, like I really did. I gave it the old college try. Went to a tournament, hated it. And I was thinking, like, 11th edition comes out. I'm just assuming I'm going to buy the launch box. Because why would I not? You know, I have a Space Marine army. There's supposed to be orcs. And I don't own any orcs, and that might be cool and like a fun, different thing to paint. And I'm just assuming I'm going to buy it. I don't know if I'm going to be playing 11th edition. Is it worth me buying? Or what if I took that money and invested it somewhere else? Do I do that? You know, like, I feel like as a streamer and such, maybe I almost feel obligated, if that makes sense. Hey, yo, Raptor, what's going on? Moth and Wolf, welcome. Orcs are a ton of fun to paint. Yeah, I have painted some orcs as commissions, not many, but I've painted them, and I have enjoyed what I've painted. Dang, Kill Team, the Commandos. When Kill Team relaunched, I painted so many of those sets. I think I painted 3 of them or something. Rules change daily. Yeah, they do. Yeah, when you play 40K, they change daily. Yeah. Open halfway world. Dang, more snow? Holy cow. What a winter you guys are getting. Any interest in the Star? No. StarCraft's never been my jam, and I don't particularly care for the art style of StarCraft. So, it piqued my interest. I like Archon Studios, the people that are making the game. But yeah, if I buy anything from them, it's going to be the Heroes of Might and Magic board game. I almost went on that Kickstarter. My wife talked me out of it, even though she wants to play the game too. But like, one of these days I'll have that game. But yeah, StarCraft is just not my jam. See, around the time StarCraft was a thing, I was playing like Shogun Total War. So like, I was in like a whole different world of games. People, yeah, it's a Polish company, right? They seem legit. They make some great looking minis. I still have a bunch of minis from them. I went on a Kickstarter for their like Dungeons and Lasers Kickstarter, one of those, and I got the minis. I ended up painting one mini out of all these minis I got. I never did anything. I tried to sell them and no one really wanted to buy them, so sitting on a bunch of boxes of minis. Extra Zeratul if you wanted to paint it for stream. I'm not sure what that is. What is that? Yeah, their dragons are really cool looking. Yeah. Though like they made a zombie dragon that I had considered getting for my old world vampire accounts. I never did because now I have several dragons, but oh, it's a StarCraft promo mini. Oh, okay. I don't know. I would. Where'd you get the StarCraft promo mini? I'd be willing to paint a mini if, yeah, if you were wanting to pass it my way, I'd try it out. Yeah, I don't know much about StarCraft at all. The ones that make the Wolverine tank, I'm not sure. Maybe. You have impulse problems. Dude, you're in this hobby. I know it. We all have impulse problems. I did, guys. I did. So I am fully aware that I did not do a mini giveaway in January. Life has been hectic. I've been trying to catch up with a lot of stuff, but I did purchase, thanks to the help of Painting Sun, I did purchase a giveaway mini for February. So we have a mini to give away at the end of February. I'm going to paint it in a single stream or give it away, and I'm really excited about this mini too. So it was the source of non-stop jokes between me and my son all day on Friday after we went and grabbed this thing. I'll show it to you guys in a second when we finish this dude's skin. Play pretty much every game. Yeah, I feel like I did for a while. My game time has really pared down. It's probably between like 3 games. Tell you guys another nerdy thing here in a minute. Let me get one subject at a time. But yeah, you know, I used to play everything I could, and yeah, life and family kind of gets in between you and your hobbies, which is fine. You know, we don't need to spend all of our time on our hobbies, right? We don't need to. Feel like we want to a lot of times, but it's okay. John Lockridge, welcome in. Dude, you just missed Zen. He's been sick all weekend, so he went to go sleep. Or game. I don't even think he's going to sleep. He's going to game because he's too sick to hang out in the stream. Keep myself down to 1 army a game, though. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. His hobby is love, hobby is life. Yeah. I recommend, guys, I posted a short, it's a 10-minute, 9-minute documentary on Discord, the YouTube link on Discord in the general chat. It is a Ukrainian man who has a Horus Heresy group, and he lives in Kiev. And so it's his experience gaming and maintaining a group during the war. It hits pretty hard for being something so simple. Like you think it's like, yeah, it's just, you know, just nerds playing Warhammer. Like, that's not that big a deal, but like, you know, these dudes are maintaining a weekly group, sometimes without power, in a shelter, playing with cell phone flashlights, you know, checking ranges and stuff under flashlight, and you know, just talking about, you know, like what the hobby means and why it's important to keep these things up. And really surprisingly good documentary. It's really good. 9 minutes and something. I recommend you guys check it out. But yeah, oh yeah, mini. Hey, giveaway mini for February. Here we go. You guys ready? Boom. It's the Benefactus. This is what the painting son helped me pick out. So we're gonna assemble this sometime. I'll prime it, and then I'm gonna paint this in a single stream, and I'm gonna give it away to somebody at the end of the stream. And the way to enter to get this mini, all you have to do, there's two things. One is you get an entry for just showing up and saying something in the comment, in chat, and I'll write your name down for the giveaway. The other way, you get an additional entry if you are a supporter any level on Patreon. So any level on Patreon, your name gets put down and you get an additional entry. That's the only way to get a second entry, but anyone gets an entry for free. There's no monetary obligation. And then at the end of stream, I spin the wheel, and whoever's name goes on it, you win this guy. So painted by me, I'll ship them out to you completely free of charge, anywhere in the world that I can. So I believe the last giveaway we did, I shipped one to Eoraptor, and this dude lives in Europe, and he got it eventually. The documentary in my Discord in the general chat, it's called Wargamers. Yeah, if you scroll up just a little bit, you'll find it. Not even that far. Yeah. Really cool. Really powerful. Also makes me like, it's weird to see like, nerdy people like us playing, these games and these situations, these circumstances, and it's like, if I were in Kiev, I would be playing this game with these people if I weren't, fighting for survival, like literally, and it's crazy to think about. Yeah, John Locker's got a Wolf Priest, yeah. My Draw, I believe, he has a couple of them, I think. My Draw's won quite a few giveaways. I believe he has a Little Titan and something else. And My Draw needs to send me a mini to paint for him, redeeming his channel points. He is still neglected to decide. Dude, send me Gilliman or Calgar or something if you don't want to paint him. I'm not scared. I'll paint another Gilliman. I love painting Ultramarines. The blue and gold is just so good. Great combo. Documentary also reminds me of that relatively famous photo, the two American soldiers playing Warhammer with like, yeah, that classic one. Yeah, from like Iraq or Afghanistan. I know what you're talking about. Yep, they got like makeshift terrain set up and everything. Yep, I know the exact. I have that photo in my brain. Yeah, that's it. The guy does say in this documentary, he's like, if I get mobilized, he's like, you'll probably find, I'll be posting pictures of me playing, sitting in a trench, playing Warhammer. Yeah, oh, you got the Emperor's Children Champion, nice. Okay, and the Skeleton Knight on a horse, that's right. Oh, that Skeleton Knight's gorgeous. I thoroughly enjoyed painting that mini. So another randomly nerdy thing that I don't know if this is nerdy, responsible maybe, but my wife and I, we're big on he crashed your wife's Christmas Village, yeah, your wife's Warhammer. So we're big on like budgeting, so we budget, And we used to budget. We used to like plan our budget every month. All right, we try to live below our means, and you know, try to make sure like everything is good, and we're not losing money, and we're saving money and all this stuff. And we haven't done it in a while, and we went through and did that this weekend. Tried to like adjust for changes in our life and expenses, and just trying to make sure that we're on the right track and that we have money to live and such. So we got that all settled, and one of the items I wanted to add to our budget was a small amount of funds to save up every month, so that if the interest comes out like full on, that we just have straight up budget money like ready to go to actually buy miniatures for the painting son, for my son, who is 9, by the way. And so that was something I requested we put in our budget, that we just put a little bit of money away, so if he ever like fully commits and like wants to have minis, or we talk about it and it's something he wants to do, that yeah, we can just get him stuff maybe for like his birthday or something, but it's there because minis are expensive, and I have a hard enough time with myself like impulse buying miniatures and feeling good about it, so I'm gonna budget it. That's what I'm gonna do. All the new Space Wolves ruler range, they do have really nice range. Yeah, the new Space Wolves look really good. I saw, is it Estrello, I think, who may be in chat. I don't know if he's in chat, but he's in Discord. He's active in Discord. He was using the new 40k Space Wolves or conversion fodder for 30k Space Wolves, which I thought was really cool. They were looking really good. And he gets the meme. He made his Saturnine Praetor without a helmet, so. Do we think we get a new model along with the Eye of Terror revealed tomorrow? I do think there's a new model, revealed tomorrow. Yeah. I understand, was it Goblin or someone's in Discord saying they think it's the book and Battle Forces. Typically, Monday reveals are for new stuff. And, I mean, I don't think a Battle Force is worthy of like a Monday reveal. That would be a big departure from like the attitude, I feel like. I think whatever the second faction is getting so I think it's Orc. It might be Orcs, maybe, as the other faction in the Eye of Terror stuff. Or no, it's Knights. Knights, I think, is what was said is the other faction. So I think it might be Knights getting a reveal. If I remember Valrak correctly, he said it's a new type of knight that's like in between the size of a full knight and like an armiger. I believe that's what was said. Yeah, it's always, the way the battle forces work though, it's very rarely like, hey, here's a battle force for no reason. Now they did do that recently with all of like the Chaos Battle Force. I think that just released yesterday officially. I think that was yesterday when all those are technically released, but otherwise it's always like, here's new minis, here's new book, and then here's battle forces to go along with those new minis or new book. So now there is a new book coming, so yes, random battle force could be a thing, but I guess I could see like, hey, Eye of Terror book, and here's some new battle force to go. I guess it could be a thing. I'm gonna hold out hope that there's a new miniature, like something new as far as minis to go along with the stuff. His axe handle, yep. A little bit of dark umber. Do I have replacement dark umber? Because that's getting a little low. I have so many colors. I do have replacement dark umber. Nice. It won't be pretty. No, it won't be Perturabo. No. I think so, John Lockridge. I think this book will be out before Adepticon, though, or it'll at least have its Sunday preview before Adepticon. So I think any knights that are coming in this book are going to have to be revealed before then. Oh man, okay. We gotta talk about something crazy too. All right. Anybody that lives around central Ohio, okay, so not gonna dox myself here, but Friday night at like just before midnight, all right, Friday night, I am just gaming. I'm playing Vampire Survivors, sitting right here playing some games and just chilling, and there's a loud bang, like a rumble outside, and I was like, that's strange. I live somewhat close to like a quarry, and occasionally they will detonate explosives at night, and you'll hear it, and you know, anybody that ever wonders, like, oh, it's just the quarry, but they'll detonate an explosive and then they'll get back to work or whatever. Well, I heard this bang and I was like, okay, that's strange, like there's someone's like mess with some big truck outside, like down the street, or it's like the quarry. Well, then there was another big like bang / rumble. It's like twice. I was like, that's crazy. Like, okay, it's definitely someone in a truck. And then it happened a third time, and then it happened a fourth time, and I was like, all right, this is crazy. So I basically like turned in for that. I'm like, I'm gonna go upstairs and see if I can't like look out the window, see what's going on, see if I can see something. I go upstairs and my wife comes out. She's like, did you hear that? And I was like, you heard it too? I'm not crazy. Yeah. She's like, yeah, it sounds like a bunch of like explosions or something. And I was like, well, yeah, that's what I thought it was. So we start looking up to see if we can find info about it. We can't find anything. It's just people online asking what was that sound, and people from like all over the county asking what that sound was and what's going on. There was one person complaining that their neighborhood, like car alarms were set off in their neighborhood, and like windows are cracked in their neighborhood, and we're like, is this like World War III that's starting? You know, like, did somewhere get nuked a bunch of times and we're just like miles away and like have you know, just getting the low rumbles from the new, you know, whatever, like bring it on. At this point, well, there were more rumbles, explosions, whatever you call them, that happened like 10 minutes later, like 3 or 4 more or something. So we're like, this absolutely crazy. I have no idea. I was trying to look up, there were no answers. I was looking at, people were calling 911 about it, and a lot of this stuff came out the next morning. People were dialing 911, there's explosions, like what's happening? Well, apparently, here's the story, and you guys tell me if this makes sense. All right. In one, like, I guess, smaller county in the state, somebody bought a property with a building on the property. Okay. When after they bought it, they were going through the property and they found some old artillery shells, like military artillery shells. And so they called local authorities and said, hey, I was just going through this new property I bought, and I found these old munitions. Like, what do I do? So the bomb squad shows up and looks through this stuff and decides that this stuff is not super dangerous. However, it's old enough to where we need to dispose of this right away. So they're like, it's not it's not a huge threat, but it has to be disposed of. So what they did, this was the decision, and this is where the story starts to fall apart for me. All right, this was in a county about 40 minutes away, a drive on the freeway away from my county. Okay, they contact the fire department in my county and say, hey, can you detonate some explosives for us? And they're like, yeah, sure. Okay, this dangerous stuff that has to be detonated right away. They're like, can you dispose of this? I'm like, yeah, we got it. So they drive these explosives 40 minutes down the freeway to bring them into an area that is a relatively populated area. And then they set them off at midnight without telling anybody, because it was apparently so urgent that they had to do it at night without warning anybody. So there are dispatch calls that you can listen in on. So it was the bomb squad through the fire department. All right, so it was the bomb squad that detonated them, allegedly. There were police calling into dispatch saying, hey, what were those explosions? And dispatch had to look up, and they're like, oh yeah, it's the bomb squad, that they're doing a training exercise. And then the police are just like, oh, okay, cool, and they just hang up or whatever. Nobody's buying it. So there was no word on this. Apparently so many people were calling 911 to say, hey, there were explosions, or there are car alarms going off because of explosions. What's going on? The dispatchers started hanging up on people and stopped taking calls because their phone lines were overloaded. Well, what's crazy about this is the argument I hear is they had to do this at night so they didn't panic people. Our local emergency number was overloaded to the point they were hanging up on people and just not answering calls. What if they would have just, they panicked enough people to trigger a response? What if they would have just told somebody, right? Let people know, hey, bomb squad's going to be detonating explosives on this day at this time. At least people would have had a place to work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 9 explosions. Yeah, at midnight in a populated area. Someone wouldn't have let them do it. My draw, that's probably the answer. They snuck it so they could do it and have some fun on a random Friday night. Yeah. Someone knew and wanted to see the explosion. They made it happen, had to cover their... Yeah. Should have sold tickets. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, could have done stupid stuff like that. That's an Ohio thing to do. Yeah. Nobody's buying the story, though. It's funny. Like they talk about, these, these dangerous explosives were so dangerous they had to be detonated tonight, but we drove them, to an entire other county. And it wasn't even all of the explosives they sent. It was a portion of them. So the rest of them, they detonated them in the county where they found them. Because they have the stuff to do that. They literally have a place to detonate explosives in that county. And that county has nobody that lives there. And they shipped them off to the big city county so they could detonate them. Wildly irresponsible. Yeah, yeah, would have been awesome to be like, yeah, let's go watch some, I don't know. Got 100 like 75 millimeter shells or something. Like, let's go watch them pull it up. Drive the tractor. We gotta go see this. Yeah, crazy. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah. I was kind of panicked there for a second. I was like, was this did World War III start? I'm a little bit off. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, he was watching. He's on it. Scoot over a little bit. Be allowed 1 artillery shot per citizen in our lives. Yeah. It's somewhere in Europe, Sweden or something. They use artillery to like trigger avalanches, to have like controlled avalanches to manage them. I always thought that seemed like fun. Learn some math and some geology and be the dude that runs the artillery piece for the local park rangers or whatever. Yeah, pull the strings in the cannon one time. Yeah. Yeah, I hope there is some kind of follow-up on this story. And if that story is like the relative truth, I hope someone is like fired for it, because that's crazy. Hey, John Lockridge. Yeah, you have a great one. Sleep well. I'll see you on Tuesday. Back to painting Votann, I'm sure, on Tuesday. They do it in the Alps as well. Yeah. That might be where I'm thinking. I'm sure reading an article and seeing a video about it a couple times. That's cool though. Saturn Praetor, thoughts on him for the Thousand Suns? So I haven't used the Saturnine Praetor. Mine is actually sitting here mostly assembled and not primed. I used the Saturnine Terminators for the first time this past weekend, and they were okay. I probably didn't get the best. It was a Zone Mortalis game. I probably didn't get the best use out of them, but the Saturnine Praetor is good anyway, and he's probably the best that Saturnine gets, besides maybe the command squad. Put him in a command squad, you get a pretty good unit. I think he can be good. The weapons you can give him are really good. Like Saturnine Praetors can beat some Primarchs in challenges. So like they put out a lot of hurt. Would I take his plasma gun? I modeled him with the plasma gun because it's cool, but honestly, like, I don't think it's necessarily worth the points. Yeah, plasma's not quite what it was in second edition. Yeah, I modeled mine with the axe because it looks cool. But the axe and the hammer, I think, are both equally really good. I have axe, and fist on mine. This is my Praetor here. He's just sitting. So this is mine doing a nice 3D printed extra body, but I didn't even like print a unique axe to him or anything. Hammer, fist, and plasma. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. The hammer is like the Primarch killer. Like if you want to win challenges, the hammer is hands down like the one you do. Yeah, plasma's not quite as good. Dark Angel can still do plasma pretty well. I just think in general the hammer is like it's a monster for killing characters in duels. Yeah, the powers I would put on him for characters, I mean, for me it's either Pavonia or Raptora. I think both have merits with how they are. If you don't want to give him the plasma gun, just take Pavoni and just use Blood Boil every turn, and you're good. +2 toughness is good on them. It does help against a lot. Like making him toughness 8 is pretty wild against shots, and I think the real technique though is you put him in with like a the command squad, because the command squad is so good. The Saturday command squad's amazing. You put him with the command squad, you give the command squad, Raptora, and then you give him Pavoni, and then you kind of determine what reaction you use when you need to. Do you do +2 toughness or do you do 4+ shroud? There's situations where either one would be better, and it's nice to just have both of them available, which he's going to be able to pass his a little easier on the psychic check, so something to keep in mind. But however, if you're taking the Saturnine command squad, you're probably bringing that with a retinue detachment, which means that you can get your command squad to have combat veterans as a prime advantage. So, I mean, they're going up the willpower 9 anyway. So, it's all good, man. Now, all of it is as long as you're not giving them Pyre or Corvidae, which won't help them at all. Yeah, I'll use the Saturn and Praetor eventually. He's probably one of my next minis to paint. Him and my last 3 Terminators. Misfit, what's going on? Chilling on YouTube. How you doing, man? Oh, and I will say you could do the you can choose the Osirian Arcana, which is in the Journal Tactica. Don't do it. It's in the Forges of Saturn Tactica. It's like a net negative. Yeah. Sadly it's not good. It has like a heal ability, and then it has an ability that reduces your overload amount by 1, which both seem good. But then when you factor in like your chances for perils and the amount of wounds you take from overload, it's not worth it. You split with a friend. What did you get? What half? Like, what stuff did you get out of it? And this is your first time getting into Heresy, right? Because the secret with Horus Heresy boxes is that they're not 2-player sets. A lot of people split them though, so I get it, but those sets are made for one person to get 2,000 points of minis for $300. Oh, you literally got the Saturnine stuff. Dang, okay. Yeah, so you were all in. Yeah, absolutely. That's how I got started, was the second edition box. That box was crazy good value. I think that the second edition box was probably the best starter box GW ever made. It was a literal 2,000 point army and $300 retail. You split the siege box and you took the breachers. Okay, that's fair. Breachers are really cool. I made some breachers with the Mark II Marines. Some of the Mark II Marines I got from the Saturnine box, and I printed some stuff for them. I'm fancy and have a 3D printer. I did that right before they announced the breacher set too, so it's like, okay. Shields and spears, yeah. Have you looked up the legacy rules for the veteran breachers? Because you can get breachers with spears and shields. It's a thing. Because if you haven't seen the legacy document, then the Saturnine Praetor, he can join breachers. Yes, he can. Sorry. Yep. Okay, cool. You've been using it. Good deal. Yeah, and they're both heavy. So the only problem would be he'd slow them down a little bit because they only move like what, 5 or 6 inches. But then that's just his movement. That's not their movement. So they can still move the full 7. It's just he's gonna, over the course of a game, he might fall behind a bit. His -1 strength, I assume, doesn't help. Yeah, the -1 strength on his, his armor and stuff. And also, when you roll to wound, you're rolling against the majority toughness in the squad, so he's gonna count as a toughness 4 mini. Until you're down to 2 models, just him and one other member of the squad. And then they'll both be toughness 6, which is pretty cool, but... Yeah, the thermal diffraction shield is just him. Yeah. If you carry a pistol, the grip points behind you, right? What? What are you talking about? I don't understand the question. Like it angles back, like toward you. So like this pistol right here. Ezreal, let me look up his mini. Okay, so you're talking about his pistol. Just the gun that he's holding? Is that what you're talking about? If you are curious, they do have 360 view on GW's website. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, yeah, the way they have him is the grip is facing forward. So it's like he'll draw it with his left hand, like if he reaches around his hip and pulls it out. Yeah, it's a cross draw. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, the butt of the pistol grip is facing to his front. Yeah. Mainly I have him go with the Breachers because he has nothing else to join. Playing 1K games while building up. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Are you playing a local store or just you and some friends? How you playing? Okay, I think that's it for the bronze. Yeah, silver. You know, I think we go orange. Where's this? Oh, this Nova orange is so good. Is a thing. Yeah, yeah. No, that is a little. It's a little unusual, especially with being a left-handed um, weapon. The dude really just doesn't want to drop his sword. Is what's happening there. Oops, don't fall. Okay, I'm using some Nova Orange here. And your friend played some of the stores. They'll be doing demos when the model's ready. Very nice. I helped run a demo day a couple months ago, and there was a buddy. He had his Imperial Fist, and I had my Thousand Suns. We put him down, and we had about a dozen people show up and play games. It was really good. We set up like just little sample armies to put on the table, and matched them up, and a bunch of people showed up and played. It was really cool. I'm running a learning game this week. I'll be playing someone actually I saw you were talking to in the Discord, and I kind of ninja them away from you. We'll see. Try to get someone else into the game. Grow the group and all. Yeah, yeah. I saw you comment. That's where I recognized your name. I was like, oh yeah, you commented, and you're like, yeah, I'm finishing up my army, and I was like, why? I've been wanting to get games in anyway, so I'll just message the guy, see if he's available this week. So, coming whip, what you got, dude? Cason's fourth. Yeah. Yeah. That's the reason a lot of people play Heresy. It's old people. Feels like old school Warhammer. Unfortunately for that pure nostalgia, 3rd edition Heresy has been a big departure. I know 2nd edition Heresy was basically like 40k 7.5 edition, and people really enjoyed that. But 2nd edition Heresy had a lot of issues. You're not missing anything, honestly. I do think 3rd edition's way better. It's better written. It's more mellowed out. Like, there's not as many swings of like, this army is unusable and you should play games with 500 more points of them to make the game fair. Like, there's a ton of that in 2nd edition, where like we had a guy that played Solar Auxilia through 2nd, and his philosophy was like, I'm just playing so people can have fun killing models. He's like, I'm never going to win a game, so I'm just going to accept it. And what's funny is that mentality followed him into 3rd edition, and Solar Aux are really good in 3rd edition, and so he had some big surprises winning games in 3rd edition because he wasn't used to it. But yeah, the game's definitely like future-proof too. I think there's a much brighter future for the game with how it's going. Oh, keep bashing Imagine point value. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you got that. You got that with this game. Okay. And whips. Let's go look at whips, guys. Go check out Crucial Blues minis and whips. Oh yeah, it's the changeling. Is that who this is? The green is so good. The white, blue, and like the reddish flesh. That's so good. The changeling is a character in Warhammer Total War, by the way. He is the most troll legendary lord you can play with in that game. It's cool. The 3 arms on one side is great. Great looking mini. The blue highlights look really good, especially the top of the hood, and yeah, those ridges. I was watching you paint this on Friday. It looked really good. I was really impressed with the blue, as should be appropriate, right? Just speed paint on white. It always is. It always is. The speed paint and contrast. That's funny. The blue is crucial. Yeah. Yeah. Do you wish they'd move 1/5 heavies on tacticals? It was in the original lore, but all or nothing. And 40k now. Yeah. I like having tacticals the way they are in Heresy. It very much is like more like the books. I do think though, you know, you can run a ton of veteran squads, and I think there'll be more ways to run veteran squads eventually, but like tactical veterans can do that kind of stuff. And I think eventually I think GW is going to make a scouring game, you know, in the same vein as Horus Heresy, and I can almost guarantee it's going to be Specialist Game Studio, and it'll probably be Heresy rules, just modified to add in, like, you know, the Codex Astartes, the new tactical squads, and things that we know from, like, it's going to be like your classic 40k, you know, for more nostalgia bait on players and stuff, but I bet you'll get the classic version. I do love just having big squads of bolter boys though, but yeah, I get it. I get having the variety. I understand. The line rules, yeah. Man, line is so good. I will say, if you're building an army and you want to compete, now, I don't play this game to win the game. That's not my goal to play this game. But if you want to play the game and like have a reasonable chance of winning, which I think everybody plays to have, you know, give me the 50-50 shot, right? You have to have a bunch of tactical squads. Vanguard ends up being kind of a minor rule. It's much more situation. Like, line is so necessary to score points. So I know you don't have any tactical squads yet. You're gonna need tactical squads, and Thousand Suns tactical squads are like even better than the rest too. So yeah, it's super thematic to have them, right? Yeah, tactical squads with the Athenian, Athenaean Arcana. And then you just say no thanks to any tactical statuses. You have one. Oh, cool. All right. So you got some Mark IIs. If you want easy to paint minis, Mark 6 are so easy to paint. They're, they take like half the time as the Mark 2s to paint, at least in my experience. But I do a lot of like edge highlighting on my Thousand Suns and stuff. So Estrella, welcome in. Mark 2 and Mark 3, nice. Mark 3 is my least favorite, but I will eventually get more. I currently only have 5 Mark 3 minis, and they're all on a command squad, but I'll get more. Not that they don't look good. It's a package out. Oh, thank you. Alright, appreciate it. I'll keep an eye out. Post office tells me when things are coming in, usually. Usually they tell me. But typically only if they've been shipped via post office. Which I recommend people do anyway, because it's typically the cheapest service and they do well. Yeah, I love the plastic tactical squad sculpts, and they're so. It's only 5 poses, but even with the basic bolters, all of their arms are swappable between all the poses. So you actually have, what is that, 25 poses in the box? Yeah, the combat force is a good purchase. Yeah, rhinos are very good. Transports are very good in 3rd edition. So like mechanized forces are nice, but rhinos are really useful. And yeah, 20 tacticals. You get like half a special weapon set, I think, in that. Or no, you get the missile and heavy bolter set, which is fine. But yeah, the bunch of tacticals. A Leviathan's great. You get a discount. I think you basically get the rhino for free or something. So you might as well. Little notes. Make sure the arms are light. Yeah. And you might have to trim those down if you want to swap the arms. But just keep in mind the arms are swappable, so you don't have to have the whole army full of the same 5 dudes. Like you can change up those arms between all 5 of them. Perfect apartment. 2 bed, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet. You get the washer and dryer. Oh, that's sweet. That sounds solid. I live in an apartment for a relatively short time, just a couple of years. And my wife and I lived there. And one of our things we really wanted was a washer and dryer, or at least a hookup. Because we didn't want to have to go to like a laundromat or go to our parents or something and do laundry every week. We just wanted to be able to do it ourselves. So it's like our big thing. So we ended up living in like this super ghetto apartment. It was literally like government assisted housing, just really cheap housing. It was like tons of crime and stuff. It was really sketchy. A place you can 3D print in a second room. That's true. Yeah. But your neighbors will love you. Yeah, we were fortunate to buy a house when the market was at its lowest in 2012. And we were always like, it's a starter house. Remember when people thought of starter houses? Isn't that funny? Like, this is a little dumpy, but we can fix it up and sell it and find something bigger. And here we are 14 years later, almost to the day, still in this house because housing prices went up a whole bunch. Even outside should be. Yeah. Get a really good, invest in good like venting systems. And so what I found to be the most helpful thing is you can buy enclosures, like big enclosures for your 3D printer, and you just zip them up. They come with a little fan with a vent that you can hook out the window. Don't bother. Just close the vent and just let the thing print inside there. And all the fumes stay in the thing. I don't know, like, there's no way to get around toxic fumes, right, when it comes to resin printing. But to minimize the fumes that spread throughout your living space, just keeping it as enclosed as possible is the best thing you could do. These people cry. I lucked out. Bought a house right after the crash in '09. Bought a $200,000 house for $80,000. Yeah. Yep. We bought ours in 2012. We paid 85, and our house is worth like 240 right now. Like it's crazy how much it's tripled in value from us doing nothing. Like insurance bought a new roof and we bought a new deck, and like that's. But the thing is though, like yeah, a good respirator is important. Like an actual respirator is important. The thing with our house being worth that, you know what it did for us? It tripled our taxes. That's all that matters. If we sold our house for $240,000, the house we would move into for $240,000 would be the same house we're living in right now. Like, I don't want a bigger mortgage, you know? Closure tents, event, carbon filter, window attachment. Yeah. You're still going to get fumes. I think the fumes are pretty unavoidable. And not just the resin fumes, you're going to be dealing with isopropyl. So, you know, those will stink up the apartment and stuff too. So that was the one thing I was most surprised about getting a 3D printer was just the amount of like fumes, like nasty fumes. Yeah, our county revised all the taxes. They went through and appraised everybody's property the past like year or two. It was miserable. Absolutely miserable. A scam. It's fleecing people out of money. Isn't the resin use? ABS has the lowest fumes, so I have not heard that. I haven't done research into that, but I would not trust a resin that claims to be, you know, low fumes or whatever. Tax. You know, I don't mind taxation, all right? I am happy to pay taxes, provided my taxes go toward helping people. And my property taxes are not going toward helping people. I know because I know what state and county I live in. Like, yeah. I am more than happy to pay more taxes than I'm paying right now if it goes toward good things, like, you know, providing health care for people so someone doesn't have a heart attack and goes bankrupt or something like that. But that's a conversation for another time, apparently. Okay. Let's grab some dark ivory. Smell, yes, it's still toxic. Yeah, low in smell, yeah. Yeah, there's still fumes in the air. Yeah, I don't want my taxes going toward Walmart being able to pay its employees below a living wage. Like, I don't pay taxes to Walmart. That's not what I want to do. You know, I don't want to pay taxes so Kroger can lock up the toothpaste and make people show ID before they can buy stuff like that. All right, Blue, have a good one, man. Good luck this week with the kid being home. Helping people would be awful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's my thing. Second floor with a balcony. Put it outside. That'd be pretty great. Get a what's it called? A beer belt or whatever. A brewer belt. Brew belt. Put that inside the enclosure and you turn it on and it keeps it nice and toasty in there while it prints. You listen to my videos at 2 times speed? Or better than 1 time speed? That's wild. Is it painful? It's gonna be a thing. Good luck, man. Good luck. I don't know if I should feel betrayed or honored. 2.2. I talk that slow. Oh no. There was one time I don't know. I think you might be a little older than me, but I feel old when I say that, like, I can't listen to a video at a faster speed. It bothers me. But I guess my videos are very much like just me talking over a slideshow, and you can probably read the slide as fast as I could talk at 3 times speed or whatever. How old am I again? I am old enough. I'm in my mid-30s, so. Black Sword, welcome in. How are you doing? But there was one time I was listening to videos at faster speed, and I was actually I was studying for an IT certification, and the videos the dude would just he was teaching lessons through basically like a PowerPoint slide, and so I would listen to those at like 1.5 or 2 times speed. Early half your 30s, yeah. You listen to a lot of education. Okay, that's fair. Well, try to have more out this week on the videos, and I my next video I think is going to be more of it's like how I build an army, so like my thought process, and I'm kind of looking forward to that because it's a good way for me to kind of put my views on paper, I guess, and like explain to myself how I do things. So, retired Magus, what's up? I'm just listen to basically everything on, like faster speed. ADHD is bad, everything's slower. It just loses focus and tunes out. Dang. I can see doing that for stuff in my head. Like, I have ADHD, and like, if I'm really into something, I'm gonna listen to it, or like, it's on its background noise. Yeah, sir. I have played games and I enjoy being competitive, and I have told people I'm in a local group. If anybody ever wants like a try-hard competitive game, I am happy to oblige. But I have had exactly one game where I tried to be competitive with Heresy, and it was funny because I was making a list and I felt bad bringing things, and I just took it out of my list. So I don't know, maybe I can't play competitive Heresy or whatever. I'm a super competitive person by nature, and I think I just got tired of people either like trying to take the fun out of things or being really salty about things because they're too competitive or there's something. But yeah, I've gotten way more narrative. I enjoy my Thousand Suns for the narrative. I don't care that if they're good or not. So sometimes I just want to bring the most disgusting combo I can to a table, and occasionally I bring the disgusting combos, but I always pair it with like a bunch of ridiculous things. Or I let my opponent know if I'm bringing something. Like I talk to my opponent before I bring like a Lord of War or something, before I bring something really big. Or I'll tell them about my combo. Like, hey, I have this unit I'm bringing. I think it's really good. Here's what it does. Plan accordingly. Or don't. And, let's just laugh about it when I roll dice and it, murders 10 Terminators in a volley or whatever. But that's just kind of the idea with it. Doing good. Not too much painting. Long story and all, but paints are packed up. Moving house. Managed to get my Witch Hunter Warband for Mordheim Assemble. Nice. Okay. Bash Brutalis tread down the giant powers. That sounds really cool. Are you posting on Instagram still? I don't remember I had seen that Dreadnought. They shouldn't see a creator of Trench Crusade liking my... Oh, yeah, that's legit, Estrello, yeah. Yeah, Blacksword, go ahead. Please share a link, yeah. I may have seen... I'm not on Instagram super often. It's my ability to talk to people, so I understand the pain. Yeah. The ADHD. Let me check that in a minute. Go look at the Black Sword's Redemptor Dread, right? With the Power Sword. I mean, that sounds cool. Dreadnoughts with swords are cool. Yeah, Mordheim does seem like fun. I'm a huge fan of Middle Earth SBG, and my understanding is Mordheim was the original basis for the Battle Company system. So if those two are anything alike, like I feel like I would love Mordheim. I love Warhammer Fantasy too as a setting, so that game would be right up my alley. And it's like all narrative. Like there's no balance to that game. There's, it's just ridiculousness, and your minis dying on a whim, and you gotta accept it, enjoy the story. Shiny Mew, what's going on? Welcome in. These minis are like getting close to being done. There's a couple more things I can do with them, but we're working real well on these. Like I said, I got technically 8-9 more minis kind of thing to paint, but let's get this last guy. Gotta paint the artillery that these guys belong to, and then little Capricus and 6 Steeljacks. Too many amazing miniature games out there. That's true. That is absolutely true. I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, if I could have like YouTube and Twitch content just playing games, that'd be so great. And just like make a living doing that. That'd be a serious like dream come true of like regular battle reports doing stuff, but gotta paint minis. So I enjoy painting minis. I can't complain about that either, but for my own self, man, I paint minis so I can game with them. That's how I operate. It's my motivation. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. My wife tells me, I'm like, I'm gonna make videos about playing this game. She's like, you're called the Painting Dad, right? It's like, you know what? People have crazier names doing crazier things, so I'm gonna roll with it sometimes. Just spent the better half of an hour working on VR chat avatar. Oh, cool. All right. Just trying to transition into the industry. What do you mean the industry? Like designing games or surely not transition into doing YouTube or whatever. Unplugged gaming. Oh, okay. Do the hardware development. Oh, okay. I get it. Skill sets more in analytics and management. Oh, okay. Oh man, you know, until like just a couple years ago, it was literally like several years into me doing commission painting full time and streaming, full time and all this stuff. I would not have considered myself a very artistic person. And I would tell people that my wife is the artistic person in our relationship, which, she is in a different manner. She's an incredible musician, and, she teaches music for a living now and everything. So, like, but I would have considered her the artistic one. And then, I was telling people that when I was, like, literally doing art for a living. Hey, the Dead Pair, welcome in. We are painting some Leagues of Votann. These are crew to the artillery piece, the new artillery set. Are they called Earthshakers? I can't remember exactly what they're called. That sounds too much like the Basilisk gun, but that is just what it is. Yeah, just a couple little highlights and stuff. Cool. Never painted Votann. Yeah, they're pretty unique minis. Not my favorite as far as like the style goes, but these little artilleries are crew are cool. And I'm gonna try to finish this lot of minis this week. So I'll be back streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I have the actual artillery to paint for these. And then I have a unit of 6 Steeljacks and a Capricus.
to thank
Carrier.
you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, Dead Pear, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Robot Cash, welcome in. Robot Crash, sorry, welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, I stream 4 days a week usually. So our house, take a break from cleaning every second day for open house. Oh yeah, ugh. That sounds so stressful. I have yet to sell a house, but buying a house is probably one of the most stressful times of my life. I can't imagine doing it now. Yeah, what are you into? So you've never painted Votann. What kind of what army game? What are you into? I'm typically a big Horus Heresy player, but my other two current games are the Old World and Middle Earth SPG. I'm actually going to a Middle Earth SPG tournament next month, so very excited for that. And I have not yet played the new edition of SPG, so I got to learn it real quick. It's not a new edition; it's been out for over a year at this point, but. Painted Raven Guard and Tyranids, all sick. Raven Guard are really cool. Yeah. Tyranids are cool too. Yeah, Middle Earth SPG is a ton of fun. It gets no love from GW, but GW owes its entire existence to that game. And they have barely changed the rules over its lifespan. So that game is 25 years old, and they have, yeah, the rules. I have the original rulebook when it was the Fellowship of the Ring strategy battle game, and I don't know, 95% of the rules are exactly the same. It's incredible, which is why I'm not concerned about picking up the new edition, because it's like looking for adjustments in the rules. Yeah, very simple game. That is a game. So I've been playing that. That was my first mini game all the way back in early 2002 when I got into that game. But that game, was it the last time I played it? Oh my goodness, this is the last time I played that game. Was about 2 years ago. It was the old edition. It was right after the new edition came out. We decided to play one more tournament with the old edition as like a farewell. At that point, I had not played the game in like 8 or 9 months. And I went to this tournament, me and my buddy, we played a couple little practice games, and he smashed me every practice game. And I was like, great, like I'm going to show up and I'm just going to lose, I'm just going to have some fun. And I was playing a meme army at the time. It was the breaking of the Fellowship. So it was like the Fellowship of the Ring at Amon Hin is kind of the idea. Like no Gandalf Fellowship. But they all have like elven cloaks and stuff. So like there's like the theme for that. I had 5 models in my army. And because it was just a portion of the Fellowship, because I couldn't even get like everybody with the points values we were playing. So I had the breaking of the Fellowship. I had 5 minis, and I went into this tournament having played like 3 little practice games, and that was it before this tournament. And I went in there, and not only did I win all 3 of my games, I won the tournament, like best general at the tournament, and I did not have a single mini lose a wound the entire day. It was an insane stroke of luck playing that tournament, and it was hilarious. Like I feel like I played it really well. I did some research like into my army and tried to figure out like ways to win. But like my army was a meme, and the organizer actually came up to me in the morning and he's like, "You brought that to the tournament?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That should be fun. I didn't want to paint any minis." You know, I played my dwarves in the last tournament I went to, like the March before then, and so I was like, I'll play this one. It seems fun. And I was like, okay, well then, you know, I went to my games and just didn't lose fights, slaughtered everybody, including my buddy who I played practice games against. We played each other the second round, and I massacred him. And it was like complete luck. And then my third game just completely like lucked in. I played it well, but I completely lucked into like winning without losing a wound against him, and it was wild. Just won a bunch of stuff I never tried, and then I haven't played the game since. New edition came out, I haven't played it, so I'm gonna go to a tournament, and I'm hoping I can do that again. So I'm not gonna bring. So the list I brought to that tournament in third edition, you can run all the same minis because the game, you know, like the setting doesn't change. It's a similar list, but all of the minis in the army are way better. So like I can bring that list, and it's so like so powerful at this point compared to what it was. It would be way better to run now, but I think I'm going to run my dwarves. I'm going to put my dwarves on the table, my Khazad-dûm dwarves. Alright. It was fun. I won a sword at that tournament, and I love it. I won Glamdring, like Gandalf's sword. It's incredible. I'm so happy about that. I bragged to my whole family about it. I think for the evening, this is what we got. We're painting these 6 crew members here. You know, there's a few more things I can do here. I can work on some facial hair, and I can highlight some of the black on these minis, but that's about it. And then maybe doing stuff with the axes and like lights on stuff. But that's about it for these. These are all temporary bases they're on, so they're not going to stay on there. They just got a little bit of super glue on the bottom of their feet. They're going to end up going on these bases with the artillery piece, so they'll be glued around here. I'm not basing these minis, so what I'm thinking I'm going to do, these are glued on. I think I'm going to pop these guys off the temporary bases, and I will ship them so the client can base and then put these guys on the base as they choose. I think that'll be the plan, but I'll message them ahead of time and see what they want. But yeah, I think Tuesday we'll finish those up, and we'll start probably on these, and then yeah, I have a little pickup truck car thing that floats and looks like a frog, and then I have some steel jacks to paint. But yeah, rock and stone. Man, I am a fan of dwarves, though. I love dwarves in fantasy settings and stuff. It's too bad the Votann never like captured me. Their style was like never my thing. The camera I'm using looks great. Just our weekly paint streams, having a hell of a time getting my webcam to focus properly. Yeah, so I use a Lumix. It's a Canon Lumix G86X, I believe is what it's called. Your lens is important too. This is a pretty pricey camera. It's not like a super high-end camera, but cameras are very expensive. I was using a Sony. If you do a Sony A5100 or 6100, I think the 5100 is a more budget choice, and it comes with the built-in option for I can't remember what it's called, but just like streaming with it. You just turn it on, and then you can like have it on your PC with display, like the active display or whatever. If you get a Sony like a 5000 or a 6000, they don't come with that, and you have to like basically like jailbreak it to get that setting. Yeah, I'm using a real camera. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while, so yeah, I've invested in a real camera. Yeah. But that's what I got. I'm so bad at like working with cameras and everything. So circle bit and put the magnet. What size and such? Ooh, that's a good question. So let's see how much yeah, cameras are so expensive. Alright, serves. I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call the stream for tonight because it's getting late. And if you guys have any questions, you want to talk, you want to chat, jump in the Discord, ! Discord will bring up the link, and come say hi. We got a really nice community. Just a bunch of chill people. We paint minis, we talk about random things, a lot of gaming stuff, so that's kind of what we do. Painting streams are tough. When you go live, Dead Pair, post your link. I have a going live channel. Post in there, you're going live, and we'll try to get some people in to say hi. Okay, I'm not on like Discord viewing often, but I'll try to get in there. I'll give you a follow and say hi sometime. It's rough, especially starting paint streams. It's rough to get going. All right, serves. Magnetizing your how I magnetized my Saturnine. I used a 3 mil magnets, right? So I had like a 3mm bit. I drilled up, like directly up into the arm, where my fingers like right up into the arm socket, and it ended up drilling deep enough to fit 2 magnets. They were 2 3x2 mil magnets. So if you get like a 3x4 mil magnet, like a little disc, neodymium, you know, all that stuff, neodymium or whatever, it'll fit right up there. And then the opposite end I drilled directly like opposite, like right in the middle of the guns, and I was able to fit 2 or 3 magnets depending on the piece down into that slot. And those magnets hold very well when you stack them up like that. 3mm magnets can normally be a little iffy whether they'll hold on minis or not without just like, you know, like shifting around really easy, but when you stack them up they'll hold pretty well. But yeah, I just drilled straight up and straight down. And you got to be careful with the 3mm bit though, because it will shred the plastic. So I have a little automatic drill. It's called a wow stick. It has smaller bits, and what I do is I'll drill like a 1mm or a 1x2, and I'll start small and I'll slowly widen it with slightly wider bits each time, so it doesn't just like pull your whole mini apart into shreds and everything. But yeah, you gotta work out a bit. Yeah, I'm a big fan of using 4mm magnets personally when I can, but it just wasn't enough space. I would have destroyed their arms by using a 4mm magnet. But a 3mm, if you're careful with it, will fit. It'll fit just well. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. You guys have a wonderful Monday, and I hope you guys have the day off. And if you don't, I hope your work day is pleasant and quick. I will be on Tuesday. I'll be on 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So repaint more Votann. But yeah, come hang out in the Discord, come chat, come join me on stream, check me out on YouTube. I got some videos. If you're into Horus Heresy, I got some Thousand Suns guides on there. I'll be working on trying to get another video out this week. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.